Hi, I'm Laura Flanders of The Laura Flanders Show. Watch every week on Free Speech TV, Link TV, YouTube, or if you're in New York, CUNY TV. Prefer to listen? Subscribe to the free podcast at lauraflanders.org. I end every week with a commentary. I call it the F word. Here's this week's. I don't know about you, but I take a teeny-weeny bit of offense when a guy in a glass house starts lobbing great big stones and expects me not to notice the sound of shattering. Which brings me to National Public Radio. When the ubiquitous News and Public Affairs Network announced the appointment of a new CEO, they noted that John Lansing made his mark in his current job with stirring defenses of journalism free from government interference, quote unquote. That had me picking through the shards when they went on to explain that Lansing comes to NPR from the United States Agency for Global Media, a federally funded organization whose express mission is to interfere in journalism by doing it. NPR's new CEO story came with a picture of Lansing in his capacity as CEO of USAGM testifying in Congress about the scourge of Russian media meddling. Quote, "The Russian government and other authoritarian regimes engage in far-reaching malign influence campaigns," he said. His high dudgeon ill-suited a man who, as he spoke, oversaw an empire of federally funded media outlets with origins in Cold War psyops. The Voice of America, Radio and Television Marti, Radio Free Europe, Radio Liberty, Radio Free Asia, Radio Persia. According to Yasha Levine at Pando, when Lansing took the reins of the holding company for that lot, what was then called the Broadcasting Board of Governors, it had a budget of $721 million, reported directly to the Secretary of State, and was managed by a revolving crew of neocon and military think tank experts, including Ryan Crocker, former ambassador to Iran, Afghanistan, and Syria. Lansing comes to NPR after criticism about a scandal involving fake news and fleecing at Radio Marti, scandals that Lansing says he's taken action on. But it's not the scandals, it's the routine at the U.S. media agency that makes Lansing's stone-throwing so obnoxious. The propaganda past in Latin America and Cuba and Africa and Cold War Europe is clear. In the Obama-Clinton years, Radio Liberty and Radio Free Europe actively ginned up support for war against Russia. Now, as The Intercept's reported just this month, VOA Persia has become a Trump channel to vilify Iran. Lansing's not the first NPR director to come from VOA, nor is he, of course, the first stale pale male heading up an organization that claims it wants to move into the 21st century. But geez, the hypocrisy is just a bit much. What next? A morning edition report on kettles being black? That's it from me. I'm Laura Flanders. You can find our reporting on worlds without prisons and vilifying reproductive rights activists in Bolsonaro's Brazil at our website. That's www.lauraflanders.org. Thanks.